Track Wrestling here with Tony Ramos, assistant coach at North Carolina. We've been talking, Tony, for maybe a half an hour, so it's time we start recording. But we got some good stuff. But at North Carolina now, coming up on a year, thoughts on the way the experience has been up to this point?
It's been a great experience. I've learned a lot just from not an academic side, but the ADs, working with SIDs, things like that. And also I've learned a lot from Coleman and the staff, just a different philosophy and a different way of going about, maybe not wrestling, but living your life, moving forward, things like that. So it's been great. They've taught me a lot. They've helped me with a lot. And, I think I've given them a lot also. So, I like the way it's been going.
I was a little bit surprised being on the outside looking in, just as a wrestling fan, that you went to North Carolina. You and Coleman Scott wrestled at the World Team Trials, and next thing you know, you're going to North Carolina. How did that whole decision play out?
As soon as I knew I was leaving, I started figuring out where the best options for me were to go. There were a couple options, but it came down to, I wanted to learn a different philosophy, a different style of what I've been, going through my past 6-7 years. So when I did get into coaching, there were a lot of different approaches and different ways that I could go about teaching kids, working with kids, making my program the best. And I think that's something that Coleman and the Oklahoma State kind of philosophy that they've came from has helped me and shown me with. There's a lot of different ways to do things. There's things that I like, there's things that they like. And I think that as a staff that helps us, because we can argue about things, we can say one thing might be better than the other, and then we can talk about it, and we can figure it out, and we come together as a group on what's best.
Anything specifically, just one or two things that have been a little bit different that have been valuable for you?
I think some of the things that we've gone through this year, maybe the way we did our training or structured our training cycles, phases. Me and Bryce both came from Iowa, and Bryce also went to Oklahoma State after Iowa, but we kind of had the same approach. And then Coleman and Neil, both being from Oklahoma State, they had a different approach. And, we sat down a couple times, had some conversations of how we should go about doing things, and we all came together and agreed on something, and it's been going good for us. We got 5 guys down here. The team's wrestling great. Our 49-pounder, Troy Heilman, was 0-8 to start the year and went on like a 14-15 match win streak, and he's ranked 16th, 17th right now. So, there's been a lot of improvement from our guys and from our staff.
You were saying that you were talking to your wife, Megan, and were telling her that you're more nervous now coaching than you were when you were competing.
Yeah, I'm more nervous, about 2 or 3 days out. I was getting excited, I was getting pumped up, and then Monday night before I left, I started getting butterflies. I started getting nervous, and I told her I'm nervous coming out here more than when I competed. I was never nervous. This was the most relaxed, calmest I usually was. And, it came down to I can't control what's going to happen with these guys that I care about and that I worked with all year. It's all on them. But the biggest thing was, did I do my job well enough and prepare these guys well enough for the tasks that they have and what they're up against? Because, that falls on me. So that's where I'm getting really nervous. I hope I did enough to get these guys to achieve their dreams.
Best piece of advice to give to anybody in this tournament if they want to win it?
Just basically what I've been telling these guys, and that is, today, yesterday, right now, you got to be calm, you got to be relaxed. You have to get your mind ready for battle tomorrow, not today. Today you're preparing, tomorrow is the battle. And then when we get to tomorrow, it's living in the present. You can't live in the past, you can't live in the future. If you live in the past and you focus on past results, you focus on, if a bad thing happened in this tournament, it's going to be hard to bounce back on that backside if something doesn't go your way. If you're looking forward into the future, who you got, some of these guys that you beat up earlier in the year, this is a different tournament, this is a different animal they're going to be. You got to focus on the present. You got to focus on the points that are in front of you and what you can control right now.
Thanks for the time, Tony. Appreciate catching up.
No problem.